Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing well today. Happy Friday. I wanted to do something a little different today. Usually I make all my videos in my big old semi truck, but I wanted to kind of emulate one of my favorite YouTubers. Whenever he makes a video, he's like hiking and it's super scenic and beautiful and entertaining. And I tried to do that for you guys today. I whipped out my phone, was like, what's going on, YouTube? And people were walking around and I was just cringed so hard. So I'm here in my pickup truck. I will muster up the courage to do it one day for you guys, but yeah, I just wasn't able to do it today. All right, so let's get into the video. So YouTube, whenever you make videos, it shows you a lot of different analytics and demographics of who your viewers are. And I noticed a lot of my viewers are between the ages of 18 and 35. So, you know, I just thought, hey, why don't I talk about myself, kind of let the viewers know who I am, what I'm about. And I decided to make a video about what my biggest regrets and biggest mistakes that I've made in my life, so that some of you younger viewers can kind of learn from me. And, you know, maybe you guys are going through the same thing, and maybe, you know, this video could kind of help you guys maybe change the trajectory of your life. So while I was putting my list together, I noticed that I have a lot of regrets, you know, not due to things that I've done, but the things I didn't do, man. And, you know, even decades later, you know, it's still, you know, I still feel the pain of regret. And yeah, I actually still dwell on them from time to time. So once again, to all you younger viewers out there, you know, maybe you can learn something from this video. So my biggest regret in life would be not chasing my dreams to make my parents happy. And yes, you know, obviously I'm Asian. I had the typical Asian parents that you hear about, where you had to get an A, you know, B's were unacceptable. D meant you dishonored the family, you're going to be disowned. And I had no choice, you know, no and if or buts. I had to go to college, and I had to either be, you know, a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, or an accountant. And when we're growing up, you know, everybody asks you, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I wanted to become a pilot for the United States Air Force. That was my goal ever since I was little. I remember like it was yesterday, where I was in the first grade at Doss Elementary School in Austin, Texas. And whenever you got done with, you know, your assignment, my teacher would let us kind of go to the play area where there was a lot of books and magazines. And I remember there was one magazine called Popular Science. That was my favorite. You younger guys probably don't even know what a magazine is, but there was this one issue that just came out, and I was super excited to read it. And on the cover was a B-2 Spirit stealth fighter, and the magazine was about stealth technology, and it had so many photos of like the pilot with the awesome helmet on. And ever since then, I became obsessed and fascinated with different aircraft. I collected all the little figures, and, you know, I spent hours making paper airplanes. And so, yeah, that was my dream, to fly, you know, different fighter jets and join the United States Air Force. But I remember it was around my senior year. You know, my parents started really asking me, you know, what do you want to do, you know, after you graduate? You know, what are your plans? And I remember we were eating, and I let them know, hey, you know, I want to join the Air Force. You know, that's my lifelong dream. And I remember my parents saying, absolutely not. You are not joining the United States Air Force. You are going to college. And we butt heads, and we argued so much that year. And that really strained our relationship for many years, even after. And, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, I would have become a United States Air Force pilot. You know, it's probably just as hard. You know, it's super hard, probably just as hard as becoming a doctor. But, you know, to this day, you know, I always ask myself, what if, because I never, ever even got to try, you know. I never even got to chase my dreams or, even attempt it. It's always in the back of my head. And of course, because I love my parents so much, I, thought a good son always obeys what their parents says. And so I gave my dreams up and I went to college. I went to University in Texas, and yeah, I became an accountant. And once again, I still feel the pain of regret. And I remember I was at Pike's Place, this really famous area in downtown Seattle. And this one day they had like an air show, and I saw F-22 Raptors and F-16s fly by. And man, I was, just thinking, what if? But yeah, to all you younger guys out there, man, always go for your dreams, no matter how crazy it may sound to some people. Whether you want to go be a professional athlete, you want to be a musician, no matter how big your dreams are, always go for them. Don't be an old geezer like me and live with regret. And yeah, so that's my biggest regret I have in life. So my second regret would be that I didn't change careers sooner than I did. So I don't know if you guys know my story, but my very first video that I made, I talked about how I quit my corporate accountant job and I became a truck driver. And I wish I would have changed careers a lot sooner. I was so miserable. Now, hold on. Let me start off and say that, I don't want to discourage anybody from becoming an accountant or going to corporate America, joining corporate America and moving up the corporate ladder. Accounting has definitely given me a really good life. And yeah, I became a homeowner at the age of 25. It was very financially rewarding, but I was absolutely miserable, guys. There's that saying, you trade in your I was trading in my happiness for money. And looking back, I'm glad that accounting gave me a lot of helped me out financially in the beginning, but I wish I would have changed careers a lot sooner, because I was stuck at a soul crushing desk job, staring at Excel spreadsheets all day. And I remember just asking myself, like, is this life, just sitting here for many more years to come? And I was like, there's got to be more to life than this. And yeah, I believe that, and I just changed careers, and it's been an absolute blessing. In corporate America, I got so tired of all the meetings, the back-to-back, just 2-3 hours of meetings every single day, and doing just work that I thought to me was just so meaningless, just pulling reports from different systems all day, and plugging in the spreadsheets and making entries into the accounting system. It just was soul crushing, and I absolutely hated it. So anybody out there that's thinking about changing careers, and you're kind of in the same situation I was, go for it. You only live once, and I can't stress that enough. I'm a middle-aged man, and I wish I would have changed a lot sooner. I spent so much time and effort in my accounting career. I spent so much money becoming a CPA. That cost about 10 grand, and I could have used that money to start my own business. And to become a CPA, I studied so hard, over 1.5 years, just every single day. And all that time I put into becoming a CPA, I could have started, put that time and energy into, starting my own business. Maybe if I would have started trucking years and years ago, I would have my own transportation company by now. So once again, if you're thinking about changing careers, do it. But be smart about it. If you got a family, make sure you have enough funds saved up for you and your loved ones. And just right now, as you guys know, the economy's not doing so well. So please, and the job market's not doing so well either. So maybe just stay put. The economy will get better. You know, it's always, the economy moves in cycles. So we're in a downturn right now. Maybe when it just booms and you know, the economy gets a lot better, then go ahead and change your careers. So okay, so my last regret that I have is, I don't know if I really should be telling you guys this. This one makes me cringe so hard. And my okay, so this one is not being brave, you know, not having the balls and growing a pair and going after what you want. So story time. So your boy Def, you know, a long time ago, I was around maybe 26. I had just gotten out of a really long relationship, and I had no idea how to talk to girls. You know, I was with one girl for many years, and once, you know, we kind of grew apart, and at the end it didn't end up working out. So, you know, your boy Def kind of let himself go during that time. I was a little chubby, but you know, once I was healed and was ready to get back into the dating market, you know, what do guys usually do? We go to the gym, we count calories, we're like, we're gonna get, you know, into the best shape of our lives. And that's what I did. I started hitting the gym super hard, and I started, you know, I was that guy that, you know, walked around carrying chicken breasts and rice, because I was that determined. And I will never forget, I started going to a gym called 24 Hour Fitness, and I would always see this girl there, just super gorgeous. She was a Latina with long black hair, and I had the biggest crush on her. And of course, at the time, I was just super shy. I was always like, all right, I'm gonna go introduce myself. I'm gonna go introduce myself. And the weeks would go by. And did I do it? Hell to the no. But by the one day, the universe was like, you know what, Danny, I'm gonna bless you. And I remember I was doing the side lateral raises. I was on the machine, and once I was done, guess who taps me on the shoulder? My crush is standing right behind me, and she taps me on the shoulder, and she's like, hey, what'd she say? Oh yeah, I'm not really too sure how to work out your shoulders. Could I work in with you and you kind of show me how to work your shoulders out? I remember just sitting there, just looking at her, just like, because I was so stunned. My heart was pounding 1,000 miles per hour. My mind, a million thoughts are going through my head, and I was trying to say something, but I couldn't. Is this really happening? And what felt like an eternity was probably just like 5 seconds of me just going. And she was just like, she just looked back at me and was just like, ugh, and just walked away. And I will never ever forget that look that she gave me. It's just the look of just confusion and disappointment. Like, you didn't have the balls to talk to me, and I came and talked to you, and you fumbled the ball so hard. And I still cringe so much. Yeah, your boy fumbled the ball so hard. I remember after that day, I never saw her again. And what hurts the most is those 3 months, had I just gone and said, hi, my name's Daniel, and I just thought you were really beautiful, and I would just love to take you out for a cup of coffee, or, you know, or just said hi, just introduce myself, you know, what could have been. And man, that hurts so bad, guys. If you're interested in somebody and you got a crush on somebody, just let them know. Let them know. Grow a freaking pair of balls. Be brave, because the worst that can happen is she says no. You know, hey, no, I'm not really interested. But on the flip side, she could say yes, and you might meet an amazing person that you guys can build an amazing life together. But if she says no, you have your answer, and you're not sitting in a freaking pickup truck 10-15 years later telling YouTube about it. All right? So guys, my biggest regrets are I didn't chase my dreams. Stayed at a freaking job that I absolutely hated all my life. and I didn't change careers. And the third one is I didn't tell my crush that I liked her, and she slipped through my fingers. So yeah, hope you guys learned something today. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna post this, but if I'm gonna post this, guys, I can't be the only one that's fumbled the ball. All right, so put in the comment section how you fumbled the ball. Make me feel a little better. All right. But yeah, hope you guys learned something today. Happy freaking Friday. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Oh, and I forgot, to all my truck drivers out there living that deaf life, man, appreciate what you guys do. All my boys at Jackson Energy, KAG Pilot, thank you guys so much for hauling fuel and making sure the gas stations are always full, so us Americans can provide for our families. So thank you guys once again. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.